What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-Hop Radio. Shout in as always. I got my podcast partner up in this thing. OG Gangsta Wicked, a.k.a. Big Galaxy of Ghetto Mafia.
Yes, sir. Friday, man. I'm feeling great.
Man, it's Thursday, Wick.
It's Thursday?
It's Thursday, sir. You just done rushed it up. You already in your weekend mode already?
I'm already in weekend mode, man. God damn.
You ready to turn up already?
I already hit the club. I laid my outfit out on bed and everything, man.
Now, you know, yesterday we were just talking about, you know, Shedeur Sanders and him sliding in the draft, and we also mentioned the fact that he caught a prank call, which astonishingly to us came from the Falcons, okay?
Right.
Well, you know, the Falcons in the NFL, you know, they had some conversations and fines were handed out. Now, here's what we know. You know, Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich apologized publicly for the leak of Shedeur Sanders' private phone number and his son using it to prank call the quarterback during the NFL draft. He was quoted as saying, "My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable, and for that we are both deeply sorry." Now, earlier in that day, the NFL, they fined the Falcons $250,000 and Ulbrich himself $100,000 in response to the situation, man.
Right.
I mean, how do you feel about that, man?
I feel like behind they should have, you know, hit him with the whole $350,000. I mean, I don't see what the Falcons really had to do with it. What Arthur really had to do with it. But he got 250. The Falcons got 250. He got 100,000. Even if they would have reversed it, he would have got 250,000, and then, you know, Falcons $100,000 for just even, you know, messing with this clown. You know what I'm saying? I could have maybe ate that, but I don't see how the Falcons should be fined more itself over you know, this guy and his son. I will say that I looked at the conference that he said, and I found out some things as I was going through the comments. I don't know if you knew this, but this is what people were saying, and I'm not 100% true about this. If it is true, the people in the comments let me know. But they were saying that this wasn't the only prank call. That he had did this that day with.
He was just going ham
with a few different teams and a few different players. From my understanding, I couldn't confirm it, but I saw it in the comments a lot that it wasn't exclusive to the Falcons. So my question would be, the Falcons situation was the only one they decided to record, and it got leaked. You understand what I'm saying? Because when they called Shedeur, you know, Shedeur them had the cameras rolling.
Yeah, they got the cameras rolling.
Yeah, and it got leaked some kind of way. And also the young man who made the call, they were recording.
Yeah, they were recording.
So I don't know which it leaked from, which camp.
If your son did that, what would you do?
And I was, man, at that age right there, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I mean, we would definitely have a problem. You want to, you know, I want to sit here and say that, you know, nobody's gonna cut off their son.
Yeah,
you're stuck with the kids. Yeah. So, you know, doing, you know, good and bad.
That's right.
But that would definitely be, you know what I'm saying, some silence. you know, missing some meals. You know what I'm saying, some allowances, and just some flat out, you know. It could go either way. Depends on when, you know, how I'm feeling, especially if I get a few shots in me,
or how hard that 100,000 hit that account too.
Absolutely, you see what I'm saying? So he definitely, you know, with my son, he definitely won't be able to ask me for nothing. For a good year.
Exactly.
You know, I'm thinking a year. You know, anytime he would even ask me something, I say, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Are you serious? You're sitting right here right now asking me for a Nissan Maxima. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that would definitely be, you know, that would definitely be a problem. But at the same time, they are your kids, and you know, you have to get past it. You know, so the women gonna make sure you get past it anyway. They gonna always show you the better side. Well, you know, that's our baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, us as dads.
Oh no, we ain't going for it.
That's gonna be definitely something the mama is gonna have to get in between y'all two about, because at that point you feel like, you know what I'm saying, there's another grown ass man walking around the camp in your house.
Come on.
Even if he lives somewhere else, just in your space.
Yeah.
So that's something that your old lady gonna have to, you know, get in between. Hold on, let me talk to your daddy. He's still mad with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should ask him for the maximum. Let me talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that was ugly. But you know, the dad's out of control. You know, right now. You know, in a lot of situations. You know, you were talking to me about, you know, a few other situations which I'm going to let you bring up.
Father's gone wild. That's just basically what's going on right now.
Father's gone wild.
Father's gone wild.
We had LeBron, so you had LeBron.
You got LeBron.
Talking about your Bronny and Stephen A. Okay, what's the next one?
You got Deion, damn near got his son not even drafted.
okay, I get
you got Tyrese Haliburton his father raising Haliburton the hell out there. So, I mean, all of these fathers are going. Lavar Ball has been going wild for years.
Yeah. Lavar right now, he looks like the saint out of everybody.
Yeah, he does.
Now, you were talking about the Haliburton thing.
Okay.
What was the situation with that?
Tyrese Haliburton, you know, he was trying to do his thing, and then, you know, they whooped up on the Bucks, and then his father, his 70-year-old father, ran out there and decided to jack up the Greek freak. So, I mean, first of all, that man is 70 years old. He done ran out of the stands, that went head-to-head with the Greek freak, and he didn't give a damn. However, you know, he did issue an apology saying that I sincerely apologize to Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pacers organization for my actions following tonight's game. This was not a good reflection on our sport or my son, and I will not make that mistake again. And, you know, that's just what that was right there. But I mean, he's out there raising hell, and damn, they're trying to lock up with the Greek freak.
I think that the son came out Haliburton. It's hard for me to say his name. I can't believe I'm getting it right finally now on Haliburton.
Yeah.
But I think he came out with a statement also. This is itself, saying that his dad was dead wrong. He's not with that. So now my thoughts on the entire thing. I looked in the comments also on this situation. And I saw a lot of people saying that they had a poll in the NBA, and they were saying, asking in this poll, they asked 150 players who was the most overrated player in the league in their opinion. Why they would ask those questions, that's a discussion for another day. What are we doing in the NBA? That you asking other players to even have to feel the need to slide another player? Why would you even want to know that? But maybe it's over my head, you know. But this is what was said, and that Haliburton came in number one as the most overrated superstar or whatever you want to call him at this point. So I think that his dad probably, you know, felt that. His dad, because I, you know, people were saying in the comments, it's kind of what he was saying to Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Who's overrated now? Now, I don't know why you would take it out on Giannis, because I'm sure that if they, you know, if this is true, that, you know, 150 players voted on this, I let the people research it. But if this is true, I'm sure you don't know who said what. So you would have to be guessing that Giannis felt that way. Maybe he said it on the court when he dunked on somebody or something. He overrated anyway, you know, and, you know, I don't know. But me watching Giannis, he's always seemed like, you know, he's a guy I definitely wish the Hawks had. And not just for his talent, but for his loyalty. He always seemed like when he lost gracefully. He didn't seem like a guy that, you know, that was doing the Ron Artest, if you knew who that was back in the day with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? He's not a friendly guy when he loses, but he's definitely wasn't a guy that was a hater. You understand what I'm saying? Get up on the podium after that and talk down on the other team and discredit. He didn't seem like that type. He, you know, so I don't know why he felt the need to run up on Giannis in particular. Why you didn't run up on if you did need to run up on somebody? Why wasn't it another player?
Well, at
on
least
the
he
team?
picked the biggest man on the court.
Well,
to run
he
up on. Maybe
almost.
he just
I didn't want to say this while you're sitting there trying to take up for him. You know what I'm saying? Because
I ain't taking up for that
if
behavior.
Giannis was my son, that would have been the one time where I would have said, you know what, you should have knocked his old eye. You know what I'm saying? That would have been the one time that I would excuse that type of behavior.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot different than the behavior of the Atlanta Falcons son. me and my son at that particular point right there, I'd be like, that's my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You knocked him out there.
Yeah.
Because you never know, behind all seriousness aside, you never know after these games who is running up on you and what their intentions are.
Exactly.
You know, you have a space. That's anywhere you
personal space.
I'm the same way when it's at shows or we out in the club or this and that, and the niggas feel the need to come up on me and start rapping and telling me, say, hey man, man, I want to get on Beehive, man. I love what you and him was doing. And I'm always like, bro, you playing me close. And some niggas feel like I'm well, damn, you ain't the same type of nigga on the show. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, because I'm out here and I'm in public and I'm vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't fall through the crowd and then you're in my space. I don't know if you're gonna give me a quick jug. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, what your intentions are because I don't really know you. You understand what I'm saying? So I felt, I think when I looked into Giannis' eyes, that was his first initial reaction. Like, what is this motherfucker coming up on me for? He probably didn't recognize, okay, it's his dad. He's trying to check me about something. I just lost the game. I'm already pissed. Dame Lillard is out for the year. You know what I'm saying? So, He lucky that he didn't get knocked out. I don't blame Giannis for going head to head to him. I actually commend Giannis for holding restraint not to knock Pops out. And in this situation right here, Pops was wrong. Now, before I turn it back over to you, if I have a son, because I can look at it objectively from both sides. If I have a son, I probably wouldn't have done that. But you best believe this right here. Whatever my son feels, I'm going to feel it also. I don't think that man ran out there on Giannis saying these type of things and my son overrated and stuff if his son was not, it was already wearing that on him. You know how our parents are.
They know everything.
One thing about, my family. If I'm nonchalant about something, then they're nonchalant. Somebody come in the comments and they saying something, untrue about me, there are people that's going to be strolling down those comments. Now, family members, blah, 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 and they see that, and they'll come in there, they'll call me and say, who is this nigga in the comments, saying this about you or saying this about you, and I have to hold them off. I say, oh, man, don't, mama, uncle or pop, is there trolls out here.
That's right.
So, let it be. That's how they get off.
Exactly.
You got, it's probably somebody living, Montana somewhere down in the mama basement, man, and just saying anything and calling me whatever.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? So, but they will call me about some of these comments that people are saying that my family know is some garbage.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, based on my reaction, if I'm carrying that or not, would you get a reaction from some people? You might not even know it's one of my family members. They'll come on there and say, nigga, fuck you.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't even know him. You feel what I'm saying? But, I'm going to get a call. Who is this lying on you? Who is this saying this? And my reaction is always, oh, man, I don't got used to that with Beehive. Don't go in there and say anything crazy. That's not, because once you say something, then you're going to fuel the fire. And that person is even going to come back even harder.
Exactly.
And they're going to empower other haters. They say, well, we got a response out of week.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? They got to be his mom or something. And you don't want to start to get these trolls piling up on you, coming to find who you are. Because they see it rubs you the wrong way. So my reaction to whatever is being said about me sways my family. And that's what I'm getting back around to with his pops. I think that he distanced himself from what his pops did, but maybe he needs to, maybe he goes back and say, on the DL say, when everybody was saying I was overrated, maybe I shouldn't have, and I don't know it to be true, but maybe he did relay that to his dad, and his dad wore that burden for him, and he exploded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of you motherfuckers. This is my son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Overrated what?
Yeah.
And he exploded. So I don't know that to be true though, B-High. But a lot of times, our family members, they're gonna take on the energy that you take on. Most of the time, you have been saying
they just might be madder than you.
Correct.
Off of what they see. You might not even took on the energy. They might have just saw it themselves and got pissed the hell off.
They overstep. No, they definitely do. That's why I said sometimes. Sometimes they overstep. But most of the time when it comes to my family, except when I was in Pop Warner, and I couldn't think for myself. So my family gonna be mad for me whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they even old enough to make the decision whether you're mad.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about once I don't, I'm worth $250 million and I've already made it to the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to believe that he saw something and just, his son was okay with it and then said, man, I ain't worried about that right there at all.
Yeah.
And then you wore that burden and felt that to the point that you want to run up on Giannis.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? I think that.
Okay, so now, see, I'm about to take this place in a different direction. I got to ask you something.
Okay.
What if these fathers going wild are still in the show and they want it to be all about them?
Living through their kids.
They ain't even living through the kids. They just out there living. They like, nigga, I'm living my life. You my kid. Guess what? I'm about to dance in the spotlight. Deion saying, yeah, that's my son, but he ain't going nowhere. I don't say he can go. So it ain't about the son. It's about Deion.
Right.
Haliburton, 70-year-old grown man, runs out there on the court and picks the biggest Negro on the court to run up on.
Right.
A former league MVP.
Right.
And goes head to head with him. His son might not even know nothing. Maybe he just wanted to get his shine on.
Right.
At that game and raise hell. He like, you know what? I'm tired of playing the background. I'm about to get my shit off tonight. Lavar Ball. He had 3 sons that was, one of them a rapper, 2 of them professional ball players. We should know who the hell Lavar Ball is, but we know him probably more better than all 3 of his damn sons. So are these fathers just going wild, Wick?
Fathers going wild.
Is it just fathers going wild?
I mean, that's something we're going to definitely have to ask the people.
Okay, so you ain't even got no opinion on that, Wick?
Well, it's funny to me, and it's valid at the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go either way. I mean, because it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know each person. Each situation may vary.
Yeah.
One may does want to get his off. One may be coming from a place of fatherhood.
Yeah.
LeBron James may be been coming from a place of being fed up. I don't think he's trying to get his shit off, but maybe he was.
Exactly. Like,
maybe he was.
Like, maybe I just want to goddamn jump a nigga out, let folks know I ain't playing.
Now that you've thrown that out there, that is definitely a great question to ask the people. And I think we should leave it at that, because I don't have a right answer because then I would have to be in the minds of what that father is actually thinking.
Yeah.
But I do know that we have people on here that don't mind going into the minds of what, of the fathers.
In any one of those situations, Wick, so this is a better way for me to ask you and get an answer out of your ass.
Okay.
If your son is Bronny James, are you jumping off Stephen A. Smith at half court?
I don't know. It depends on how Lil Wick was taking the entire thing. you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm LeBron James, see, I'm already, I come up with, hey man, I'm getting you to 18 years old, or being able to be self-sustained. Yeah. You being able to take care of yourself, whichever one comes first.
Yeah.
You need to, what I'm saying, if 16-year-old, you feel like you're a man and you know what I'm saying, you can get out there and get your old lady and y'all can do it on your own, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
So some people will look at that as, great parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will look at it as overstepping your boundaries with your son and not letting him be a man. You understand what I'm saying? Who am I to speak for my son at that particular age when he is in the league, or like Haliburton, as you say, and making $250 million. Obviously, he has done something right and he knows how to carry himself. So I would be thinking to myself, is this a great idea for me to even step on his toes? Because that'll make a lot of people think, you got men out there like you, Beehive, like, damn, why this nigga daddy's talking for you? You know how we are when we come from the hood. What do we always say? You had to have your mama come out here.
You brought your dad, you brought your bag, you brought every goddamn body to see me,
so,
nigga.
Right, exactly. Like we saw on Friday when the kid had to bring the daddy.
Could have snapped the chain.
Correct.
And then he might have had to run his head. See, that would have happened at that damn NBA game with Haliburton. He almost made it.
Right. So, like I say, that's a fascinating question that we have. What is too much? What is not letting your son be a man? And what is not being there for him?
And what is just overstepping your boundaries and doing the most? If Shedeur and Shiloh are your sons, are you going to get on TV and say, oh, it's certain teams my sons ain't playing for? How are you handling this, Wick?
I mean, be how you keep trying to paint me into a corner and make me.
You in no corner.
Yes, you are. I mean, we just nipped that in the bud that we don't know. We don't really, I don't know how I would play that. I mean, because I'm not Deion Sanders, first of all. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know if my son has been relaying that message to me. Like I say, there's so many dynamics to that. That's why it's better to let the people out there comment on that. Because what if your son is telling you, Pops, I ain't playing for them but 2 or 3 teams. You need to let these motherfuckers know that.
And then you tell that boy, hey, you ain't about to turn down $40 million and fuck this up for the
family.
What
did he say? Nigga, I'm living off your money. These are niggas Pops.
See, that was the other part,
I'm living off your money,
You talking about the last time we talked that you said that Pops was the exit strategy. Well, what if the kids was Pop's exit strategy?
Well, I mean, like I said, these are dynamics that they're fascinating dynamics. And we can't give a definitive answer because we don't know the dynamic of their relationship. Each one varies. In one situation, Deion could be, the instigator. In one situation, Shedeur could be the instigator, and it could be vice versa on down the line with all this.
Okay, so in any one of those situations, this is my final question.
You trying to get me cussed out by the people by saying something definitive?
No, I ain't gonna say nothing definitive. Okay. Would you ever run out there on the court on Giannis over your son?
It depends on. I just answered this
situation.
question. You don't brought the question.
If you would do it,
you're a politician. What you're doing is asking the same question a different way and coming at me like a pitcher. One is a curveball.
Did you run out there on the court on Giannis?
I don't know. It all depends on what my son, the conversations he and I have had.
Okay.
If our relationship is me and my son, we kind of know it's an unwritten rule that when I need to say something that he won't say, or when I need to say something that he can't say, or when or I'm just trying to, like you would say, get my shine on, and he didn't say that at all. So I don't really know.
So you're saying that you would never be a father gone wild?
I could be. I could have been that guy.
Because I'm thinking I could find myself being a father going wild.
I could definitely be that. But I could also see myself. Really for real taking up for my son because he might not be cut that way. Yeah. And so I've always had to, say, hold on, I got this, son. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know what you really want to say because I know my child.
Exactly.
So I know what he want to say, but he won't say it. Yeah. It's just like when they come up in school, what you tell your daughters or your son. Hey, if the teacher say something to you or this or that right there, it ain't really your job to check them. You call me.
Exactly.
I'm gonna come in there. You don't get to fire in and say, no, I'm not putting my phone down.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sitting down when they tell you, hey, sit down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And learn this. If you felt like you would be disrespected, you're going to sit down for right there.
Exactly.
And then you call me, and I'm going to come up there and be the dad going wild. You understand what I'm saying? So, but there are some parents that tell their kids, you be the child of going wild. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna overstep your boundaries. I'm gonna let you cuss them out. You wanna cuss them out, cuss them out. You know what I'm saying? There's consequences when you do it.
That's right.
You know, they suspend you, you going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might tell my son, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Look, you in the 10th grade now, bruh. If you feel like you're a man and you can't do what the teachers say, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna play out.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want me coming up there and embarrassing you, and you don't feel like you should have to defer to me to come up there and handle you grown.
Yeah.
So when the teacher tell you, hey, Lil Wick, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
And you feel like I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just know, when they suspend you, you getting up out of here at 7 o'clock regardless. It's no laying around kicking it time.
Exactly.
So you better go on somebody's job. Those 7 days, 8 days, or whatever it is, nigga. If I got to drop you off at the sanitation department for free labor, you know what I'm saying? You coming up out of here.
That's
so
right.
you can make your choice. Do you want to go there and listen to them? Or do you want to go listen to the man down at the sanitation department? Yeah. But you coming up out of here. And I'll leave it at that.
And with that being said, more than anything, I'm just glad to see active fathers fathering their sons.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the big picture.
That's the main thing
That's
right
the
there. It's
big
like,
picture.
it's good to see fathers in their sons' lives raising Cain, however it turned out.
However it
just
turned
good
out.
To see.
However it goes. Right? And that's where we ended on that point right there.
Exactly. Y'all hit the comments. Let us know how you feel, man. Are these fathers going wild out here in these streets or what? Be High Radio shouted. Big Galaxy. I'll let y'all in a minute, man. We gone.